Hello and welcome to, like I say in said on Twitter, it's probably not going to be a very long stream, but I wanted to take a look at this, which has just come out. This is published by Paradox. It's Empire of Sin, and it's actually made by Romero Games, as in John Romero. But for all that, it's a little bit disappointing considering that it's got John Romero's name on it and it's published by Paradox, and Paradox generally have a reasonably good reputation, although it's a bit mixed. And when it comes to this, if you look at the Steam reviews for it right now, I think last time I checked it was like 45% or something like that, 45% positive. So yeah, this one has come out in a not great state. I mean, Paradox's own developed games often do. They usually have flaws or bugs or whatever, and you look at games like Stellaris still has some systemic problems, and Hearts of Iron 4 as well. But this, it's less the design of the game itself, I think, and more the major thing at the moment now is there are a lot of bugs in this game, but also it does feel a little bit light in content when you're actually playing through it. Now, there are some good points, there are some very good points. I've still had some fun playing this, but my kind of main point I would make just right at the start of this stream is, if you're thinking of buying this, maybe hold off until they've put out some more bug fix patches, because oh boy does it need it. The game regularly, like, it doesn't crash, but it will freeze up fairly regularly. It'll get stuck and you basically have to just reload the latest save, so I've learned to save often. And the other thing that's particularly annoying is there's a bunch of the in-game quests which are particularly bugged, as in they can't be completed or they cause things to happen which really should not be happening. So in that regard, it is definitely disappointing. It feels like it's come out a bit too early. Now I'll show you a quick kind of more developed game, and then we'll have a look at just a new game, because one of the pluses of this is there's a whole big roster of characters to actually choose from, although you can't then do any customization yourself, sadly. You basically get what you get. So this is the kind of overworld map. This is the maximum number of city areas you can have. I'll just pause it so there's no more pop-ups. And you can actually vary how many. I think the minimum is 3 up to, I think this is 13. This is the maximum. And it basically gives you an overview of what's happening in each one. I'm only really active in these two down here, and if you zoom all the way in, you get an actual street level view, which is quite nice. But there's also not that much happening, so as nice as the street level view is, there's not all that much to wander around and do, so you do find yourself playing a lot more from here, from the overview, and you can fairly, like, the game plays fairly well from here. But I do have some niggles. For instance, I've got different characters in different parts of the map, and you have to scroll all the way using the WASD keys or using the mouse cursor to get to where they are, so there's no hotkeys for that. And there are a number of issues I have with the interface. Generally, it definitely is lacking some polish. So yeah, basically what you do is you start off with a safe house, and depending on which character start you have, because I think most of the characters have unique starts, you then basically want to expand. It's all about expanding into the different empty buildings, or sometimes not empty. Sometimes you can go and take them from other people. You can also just straight up buy some buildings, but it's usually a bit cheaper to go and attack an occupied building. So there's all the various major and minor factions involved. That's the kind of pale blue ones. The major factions are all more strongly coloured, but again, this is a kind of an issue I have, is some of the colours are actually quite close to each other. So if you're looking for a building of a particular faction, like if you're looking for the green faction, well, there's two of them. I think there's a light green faction. There's two red factions. I think in fact there's actually 3 factions that use kind of red colours. There's 2 factions that use kind of very similar yellow colours. The pink faction at least stands out, but yeah, there are loads of colours they could have used, and instead, if you have the maximum number of factions, it kind of makes it a bit difficult sometimes when you're trying to find specific businesses. So this is like I say, a more developed game, loads of income. I'm on my way to sort of controlling this entire neighbourhood, but you do start off from rather more humble beginnings, so we'll jump back to that. Hey Atam and Kathleen, I'm just having a little run through of this and trying to impart my thoughts of it just now. I will say, for all the criticism I've given of it so far, and I'm basically starting off with a whole bunch of problems I've encountered playing it, I'm still having fun. I mean, it's not the deepest game, and I think most of the replayability comes from the fact that you have got all these different characters to play with. Otherwise, there isn't that much. I mean, roughly the same things happen on each playthrough, apart from the unique intros. Now, I think a lot of these are actual people. A lot of these were actual Prohibition era. Well, I know we're going around again, but you know, Al Capone, obviously the most famous of them.
So, what's the crack?
But yeah, they all have the different abilities, and they break down into combat abilities, kind of commercial bonuses, I guess you would call them, and then you also get a diplomatic bonus as well. And honestly, probably the most important of these, most interesting, is the actual combat abilities, because some of them are really very strong. There is also one, I don't know if I'll show it off. I don't know. There was a Spiffing Brit video where he showed off one kind of cheesy exploit, which is sort of hard to understand why they didn't peg that would be an exploit. You can basically get more or less unlimited money in this game without trying too hard. Money is not a difficult thing to get in this game at all. Right, so I'm just actually looking at the characters I've not played so far. He's got bombs, apparently. That could be interesting. She can bring people in with a whip.
Jedi.
He's got shotguns. Like, shotguns are actually kind of disappointing, to be honest.
Good choice.
He's got. I've played him. His dual wield revolver spinny circle thing. It's not the best. His is quite good.
You made the right choice.
He's got a melee special, apparently.
Let's take this city.
Take a trick shot, mark multiple targets and fire one aim shot that ricochets between them. And they have a wound effect applied. Okay, that one's quite interesting. She can temporarily flip people by blowing smoke. He can rush at people. She can... I don't know, that seems to be some kind of bonus to any allies she has. He's got quite a fun one. He basically can fire an infinite kind of suppressing volley for the duration of his turn. Here's another melee one, and he does a bunch of knives. That's quite a fun one, actually, especially once it's upgraded. Right, I think we'll actually try the shotgun guy We'll see what his is like. I've not played him before. Dion O'Banion. So he gets a bonus to his breweries are cheaper to upkeep, and speakeasies are cheaper to upgrade, and then there's a shorter cooldown on truces, and I guess that's a bonus to proposing. You can basically swap bonuses with other characters, which is quite nice. But the diplomatic system overall is maybe a wee bit limited. Also, I completely missed a sub there. Ralak, thank you very much. I'll actually set this to just the 3 neighbourhoods. Maybe a minimum number of factions, just because we're... I don't know, this is just for the purposes of streaming. Also, to be honest... I started off on the middle difficulty, and that game I loaded up was on the very hard difficulty, and even on the very hard difficulty, it's still not that difficult. This is not a difficult game. It really isn't. It's a fun game, but it's not a challenging game. So let's see what his start is like then.
Ah, Mr. O'Banion. You know I'm always happy to meet with you. What troubles you, my son?
There's some good voice acting in this game. All of these main characters do have voiced lines.
I just wanted to see how you were doing, Father. Anything I can do to help the church?
And you do get some conversation
Of
options
course,
during
my
these
son.
sit-down sessions.
I do have something that you can help with. I'm sure you must have noticed that den of sin and treachery that has crept into our beautiful neighborhood. God's will states that it must be destroyed. Can you do this for the church, my son?
Is the sound level okay, by the way? It's one of these things that's kind of hard to tell before I start streaming.
For the church? Of course, Father. I'll handle it.
You're a good lad, Dean. Here, for your trouble.
I can't take that, Father. The church needs it more than I do.
But I still got given the
Good
money
lad.
anyway.
But
Okay.
you'll take it anyway. God is with you on this journey, my son.
Thanks, Father. I won't let you down.
So everyone has their own introduction. I think a couple of them share the same cab opening sequence. Generally speaking, you're either starting with 1 or 2 businesses already, or else you are put in a position where you're going to take over some businesses. So there's a bunch of generic missions that you always get that starts off with the hold rackets ones, and there is a mission system in this game. In this case, yes, we have started with some, so that's okay, that's fine. So it wants us to find my buddy George Moran, so we're gonna hop along to the speakeasy that we own, which you can see is marked by my face. It's kind of, I mean, not really. It's got it's basically XCOM,
Sure thing.
but with mobsters.
How's it going?
So this is my buddy who apparently is abusing the bar staff. Okay. A brothel, George. And Father Higgis wants us to clear it out. So he'll be like you. The major difference between the player faction and the AI factions is that the player faction makes use of their boss character, and as you recruit other characters, you can move them around independently as well. But as far as the AI factions go, that doesn't happen. They only use their gangsters, their goons. The only time you'll fight their actual boss character is if you go and attack their safe houses. So you never have to worry about running into another powerful boss character, because the boss characters are generally way more powerful than the the underlings. So let's have a look at the actual character stats. His marksmanship is pretty terrible, but his melee is actually really very good. Intimidation is also pretty damn good. Persuasion's also good. We have a minus defense bonus though. Some of these traits can change over time. I mean, this includes your empire traits, and if you do business deals with people, they'll get stacked in here. And also, one nice feature of the game is you can kind of specialize weapons in that the more kills you get with a weapon, I think up to 100 kills, it gives you increasingly a trait with increasingly good bonuses for that weapon type. Typically it's the marksmanship, so your marksmanship will increase when you're using pistols, for example. Now we don't actually have any others at the moment, I don't think. But one thing you can do, and one of the, like, there's no real super huge time penalties in this game, and actually there's some guys right down here. You find throughout the world, and they seem to always spawn in the same place, basically these drops, these crates. Big Jim's stash. Oh, here we go, so we've met a new faction. We'll just go with the option that means I don't have to go and actually talk to them face to face. So these guys guard these things, and that's a blue one, so that's okay. I think you get white, blue, green and purple is the best, and then there's two like special ones you get as well. So we're going into combat here, XCOM style combat, as you can see, and this is my guy, but there's also another bunch of other green guys as well. This is the turn order, obviously. So what this means is, it's not necessarily they're on your side, it's just that they aren't hostile towards you. Sometimes characters who are showing up as green will actually, they won't fight, they will instead escape the combat area, which there should be a marker for that somewhere. It's not showing up for some reason, but there's generally patches at the edge of the map, squares where you move there, and then you can actually escape from combat that way. So sometimes you will see the NPCs doing that rather than fighting, but other times they will fight. So we'll get into this cover here, which takes 1 action point. And because I've ambushed them, I then get to immediately move again. Now I've only got the pistol, which takes 1 action point to fire each, so we'll just fire at this guy, and it kind of automatically fires at the person with the highest percentage chance, but sometimes that can mean firing at somebody who's kind of already on the ground, as it were, because you don't necessarily immediately kill somebody. Sometimes people will go into a bleed out state where they can be revived potentially. Right, so this is one of my guys, because we're close enough to one of my buildings that actually one of my my goons can join in this fight. But he's only got a double-barreled shotgun, which is a pretty poor weapon. Why not use his special ability? I could do, actually.
Moving.
So what was my special ability with this guy again? Right, top of the round, it is Blasphemy. Right, he doesn't actually have any armor, but we can use it on him anyway. And there we go. Well, that did a nice double whammy. So we got a padded vest, which is actually an armor item, and a bit of cash. You do get a bit of cash from fights, so we can actually equip that. And also by ransacking buildings as well, either faction-owned or thug buildings, kind of the unowned but occupied buildings. Armor, by the way, this is one of the things I don't quite like about this game. The best armor gives you up to 70 armor class, but armor degrades, and the better body armor, stuff that isn't just the padded vests, is actually really hard to come by. So there we go, that stash had shotgun and an MP18. And what you can do, and what I have done, is literally just go around the map, all of the different neighbourhoods, in which case, in this case we've only got 3 of them, and just pick up all the stashes before I do anything else, and you can get a really good stock of weapons that way. In fact, we can see there's another guy right here, so maybe we'll go to him. In fact, I think there's even one in the bigger park as well. Now, because this is all unexplored at the moment, we have to walk around manually, but once we've gotten places unlocked, even derelict buildings, we can actually
Two shakes of a lamb's tail.
You can basically instantaneously get everywhere around the map,
On my way.
which is a really handy ability. You can teleport anywhere. Although you're not exactly moving in real time, the time flow rate is fixed essentially, and is it just kind of marches on unless you're paused. So the rate at which you're moving around the map doesn't really reflect the rate at which time is passing. I swear there was another drop point in this park somewhere. Anyway, let's go and do I attack them? Talk to them? Talk to these guys, I guess.
Hey.
I'm here to destroy this den of sin. Sure. So there we go. Sometimes there are options to talk your way around combat, but this is not going to be one of them. This is one way you just attack them. So we can actually immediately start with the blast flea. Which, oof, okay, that's a really nice ability. Now the downside is, and here we go, just because they're both hostile to me doesn't mean they're also not hostile to each other. I could in fact, if I attack this cop, I will get a further negative rating with the police faction. But what you can do is you can let other
Hands in the air.
people attack each other. So if this guy attacks the cop for me, I don't then have any reputation thing to worry about, but it can take a moment or two. Oh, I heard Fosh gave up. Yeah, or
Get
not gave up, but I heard he
something.
finally called it quits on World Attack. So this is officially his last one. Oh, right, that didn't work. So we're now going to have to attack this cop, sadly. You can see there, you have to be a bit careful because you can just use the number keys on the keyboard. But if it's a guy bleeding out, we can shoot him to finish him. But I don't want to shoot him. It's just it automatically goes to him because he's got the best actual hit chance at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, we're just going to have to kill this cop and unfortunately take the hit of reputation. The UI when you're in combat is a bit finicky as well. This is another one of the issues, that sometimes it's quite difficult to actually click on the thing you want to attack. So there we go. They don't like me very much now. It is possible to actually,
get to work.
if I look, this is another one of the UI annoyances. We have only met a couple so far, but once you've met all the factions, including all the minor factions, you have the only way to go through them. It's just keep clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking forever and ever, and it's an absolute pain in the arse. There absolutely needs to be some kind of thing at the side of the screen which gives you a list that you can scroll down or something. I don't know how this got through a sanity check of playtesting, basically, but yeah, it's incredibly clunky. So minus 25, that will improve over time. We do also have the option later on of bribery, and if you get to I think over 300 relations, you can actually, like, you can basically buy them off completely for 100,000, but you have to have good relations with them first. You can request protection from them. You can bail out your associates, your other gangsters that have been put in jail if you've got the cash again, or you can just straight up buy stuff from them. So they act as a kind of weapons shop if you have good enough relations, alongside the other weapons shop that you always have access to, which is the black market. But you can also buy weapons directly from the other major factions as well. This is what Scotland looks like. Exactly. Right, so we need to talk to George.
It's a beautiful day to do some crime.
I had some business to take care of, sure. Okay, so we now have two people. Or is he walking inside? Okay, he's just got inside automatically, so we don't have any control of him just yet. Right, I want you to... There we go. I want you to go inside. In fact, what I should do is I should save this first, because quite often going into combat it bugs out and just just freezes and you have to go back to a previous save. And there's not a lot you can do about it. So we want to use this ability on somebody. Oh, he's not quite close enough. We'll still get 2 of them with 1 shot, so that's nice. Boom! There we go.
Moving in.
So he's got very basic armor rating at the moment. So it'll mitigate only a little bit of damage.
Right away.
He's got a submachine gun, that's okay, that's quite good. Machine guns, submachine guns, rifles and sniper rifles I think are the best weapons, but there's also some pretty decent pistols as well. But a lot depends on the actual marksmanship skill of the character that's using them also. Shotguns only really work at pretty much point blank range, and even then sometimes the hit odds can be rather disgustingly low. Like you're standing right in front of somebody and still only have a 60% hit chance. It can get a bit frustrating. But that's not this game, that's just XCOM style combat generally. Right, this guy's low health. So what we'll probably do is do a bit of weapon swapping, because weapon swapping is always free, fortunately. I'm also unable to actually move anywhere right now. I'm hemmed in on all sides, so I could have actually equipped him with a different weapon. You can look at your weapons, but you can't actually equip different ones going into a fight, so oh well. Ouch. So let's do a bit of a weapon swap. Finish that guy off with a revolver, and then we can use his remaining action point to move up.
Assholes.
Another annoyance, and you will see it in certainly the fights with more NPCs, is there is no option to speed up NPC movements in fights. And so you have to just sit there twiddling your thumbs while it goes through all the turns of the characters you aren't controlling, and there's not a blessed thing you can do about it. Right, if I got enough movement to... not really to get in cover anywhere, but let's get him moved away a bit anyway, I suppose.
Moving.
Right, let's swap his weapon back. I think... does this only... yeah, this only takes 1 action point, but it took me a little while to understand that some weapons, even if they only take 1 action point and you have 2 action points available, it still ends your turn. So there are some weapons where you can move and then fire, but you can't fire and then move, or you can't fire twice even though you think you'd be able to. The only weapons that you can fire with twice if you have 2 action points are pistols.
I'm going.
So we're going to move him a little bit closer, and we'll attack that guy. Unfortunately, no kill. See ya, Kaplan. Right, so we can finish him off, and let's get him into cover, and we'll need to have him reload next turn. If I get lucky, that'll be the... no, okay, no kill there. Ouch. Right, I can have him hopefully get... okay, get the kill there. Now he's got to reload. Very down on health. But if he now fires at this guy, at Dion... okay, apparently he's decided to move there. The AI in combat is sometimes a little bit weird. Like you'll see full health NPCs heal themselves, for instance, when they don't need to, or they'll move when they should fire, or... I don't know. The AI is not the best in this game. It is definitely not the best. Right, I actually have him use the first aid kit on himself. Some characters, like there are actual professions for the different gangsters you can hire potentially.
Glad that's
And also some of the boss characters have just a heal ability anyway. Right, so we can take this place over, we can ransack and get a bit of cash out of it, or we can smash it up and put it out of commission for a long time. There's also the raise option, but you need a demolitionist for that, where you basically blow up the place. Now we can't afford any of that, so we're just going to ransack the place. Get an extra big cash and a first aid kit. And then I guess we have to talk to George first, but also I'm going to actually select one of these weapons that we picked up. Maybe we will go for a shotgun. We'll try him out with a shotgun. We don't have any different kinds of ammo that we can use yet. We don't have any melee weapons yet either. Right, so that's fine. There are specialist types of ammo which have different effects. Right. So we might get somebody coming after us called Frankie Yale, apparently. We're not going to get him as a permanent companion yet, but possibly at some point. We'll have to go back to talk to Father Higgins. We're making a little bit of cash while this is all going on. Started off with a reasonably sized. The different sizes of buildings give you different kind of customer capacities, and obviously that depends then on how much money you can make. But yeah, there's different upgrades you get for the different kinds of buildings. So at the moment everything is reasonably basic, but you start with some upgrades on your starting business anyway. Sadly, there is no customization. There's no way of actually making your own custom characters. It's not even like some games where you can't make a custom character, but you can pick custom bonuses or whatever, or and at least rename things. But you can't do that. The only thing that you can rename is when you take businesses, you can rename them, and I think you have the option of renaming the characters that you hire, but not your main character, not your boss character. You can't rename them. That's one of the criticisms I've seen put online as well, that although there's all these different characters that you can play as, there's no option to make a custom character and have just a kind of generic start. So we took care of it. Take this. Okay, this guy is just flinging all the money around. Okay, sure. We'll reluctantly take the money. Reluctantly. So reluctantly. Right. So the rest of... there's various ongoing missions that just won't trigger until we've got 5 rackets going. And you can kind of... To use the grand strategy parlance, you can kind of play tall. There are different ways of playing this game, but it's a little bit limited because there aren't that many businesses. You've got breweries which give you your alcohol supply, and then you've got 3 kinds of cash making, or primary cash making businesses, which are casinos, brothels, and
You must be fucking
speakeasies. But there's nothing beyond that, which is a little bit disappointing. I'd have hoped for maybe a couple more different varieties, like maybe you set up a car theft business, or a taxi firm that's actually a smuggling business, or a firearms smuggling business or something, but sadly there's nothing like that. There is technically a 4th kind you can set up, a hotel, but that literally just exists to enhance your other businesses. This is all Chicago, W Beaver. It's all set in Chicago. And so, yeah, there's a bit of limitation there. You can basically open a bunch of breweries, which in theory cost you money, but other factions will buy alcohol off you. And in fact, at the moment, we're only producing the most basic type of alcohol, but they want better alcohol in this neighborhood, because each neighborhood has its own like prosperity rating. So what we can do is actually just say upgrade the Nope, it's the safe house I want to upgrade. I've clicked on the... Oh, I clicked there when I meant to click there. That's what's happened. So let's upgrade our production for 1500. Oh no, that's not the one I meant to... Quality is the one I meant to click, but never mind, let's upgrade them both. And they'll just go over time. And then we'll actually have a better class of alcohol, which will enhance profits. Now that right there, that's a big stash. You can tell by the number of thugs there. Anyway, George wants to speak to us again. Yeah, right now it's... Yeah, if there was some kind of specialisation going on, that would be nice. ATAM. But yeah, like there really isn't. It's just a straight upgrade path. And the only kind of difference between playing wide and playing tall is if you play tall, you might basically concentrate on ploughing your cash. Oh, somebody's looking to maybe attack my brewery, which would not be good. If you, yeah, you can sort of upgrade the individual businesses a lot more, or you can just have a load of basic businesses which then become harder to maybe try and protect all of them. But it's less consequential if you do lose one of them. Yeah, it looks like you can actually kind of see the intent of different... Like these guys here are attacking this business because the different factions will attack each other. But my business has been marked by one of the other factions as well. So they might turn up at some point. In fact, we might want to upgrade our guards there if we have enough cash to do it. We just have enough cash. Sure, let's go for it. It's Paradox published, but maybe there will be DLC. Yeah, I don't know. It's John Romero Games that made it, as in the John Romero, so I was expecting a little bit more out of it. Well, that's no longer marked. I kind of want to go and see what this is. I think it's either one that, like, there's 2 or 3 kind of super special containers. One of them gives you 50,000 in cash, which is a nice early bonus. One of them gives you a permanent, massive bonus with the police, which is really useful. And then I think there's a third one that I've not managed to get yet. Occasionally the NPC factions will pick up the different stashes. In this case, let's have a look-see. Now there's one, and I don't know if it's this one. Because you can normally see the crate, but I'm wondering if... I think there's one of them that's kind of bugged, and I think it actually might be this one because there's no... Yeah, there should be a crate here that has the reward in it, and there isn't. There's just a bunch of thugs who are just kind of hostile to everybody. So, yeah, I don't think that is anything at the moment. I think that's just one that's bugged.
You got it.
There's sometimes one here. Ah, yes, there we go, in that corner. So there might be some more weapons. And if nothing else, you can always sell weapons either to other factions or to the black market guy. So that's just a basic crate.
Sure thing.
And we'll hit control to ambush this guy. And... Are you sure you want to attack? Oh, I'm too close.
Sure thing.
I'm in the splash radius. There we go. Every time you get a kill, also it gives you notoriety points. And notoriety is your level, kind of. As you trip over... Oh, there we go. We're being attacked by NPCs. As you trip over certain thresholds, the notoriety gives you various bonuses. Primarily bumping your hit points, but I think it bumps some of your other stats as you go along as well. So we're not actually... Like, you don't have to be at war with another gang to initiate hostilities with them, to take a business off them. That's what's happened here. No one's actually declared war on me, it's just they've decided they're going to attack my business. So, right, even though they're right there, I guess technically they're in more cover than this guy. I've discovered with the outside guards that the best tactic is to just try and do much damage and maybe get a kill if you can.
Assholes.
So significantly weakens them for the inside guards to deal with.
Moving in.
Especially once you've started upgrading security, it makes life a lot easier. Right, so he's got a rifle, 30%, 70%. Oof, well, that was a nice lucky hit there. Get that kill, there we go. Now, because I'm killing their NPCs, their rating with me is going down, but they're the ones that provoked this fight, so, you know, it's kind of on them. So he had to reload. 8%. Should we go for the... A lot less damage, but a lot more reliable if we go for a physical attack. And one shot left. That might do it. We've actually successfully repelled this attack. Normally the outside guards get kind of slaughtered and then the inside guards have to hopefully deal with it. Oh, nice. Okay, that's a rare revolver, but it's a 38, which is not particularly powerful, but I think it's still a better gun than the one I've got at the moment. Yeah, better damage. There's a damage range and a crit damage range, all of which are better, and the critical chance is a lot better as well, so we'll take that. The only time when there is friendly fire is with certain abilities, like abilities where machine guns or submachine guns, where you're basically kind of hosing down an area and your own allies can get caught in that. I think explosives can do friendly damage as well, but there's no kind of accidental ricochets, stray shots kind of thing going on. Right, so we're getting a bunch of prosperity change messages, that's fine. So where is
So be it.
George? George is over
Jedi.
here. Triton Falls, 2 months, thank you very much. So he's over here in my safe house. In fact, we can actually just fast travel there. It's not bugged out so far. It probably will happen.
Well, okay. Sure
So
thing.
let's have a chat to George.
Good to see ya.
Not sure what you can interact with your own still for. The safe houses always come with a little still, so you've always got a bit of alcohol supply going on. Right, something I've got to tell you. What is it? Maybe I'd better just show you. Is he... Okay. Yeah, I should... Hang on. Okay, I've got to answer the phone. What's going on here?
On my way.
Okay.
So, this is Frankie fucking Yale. Okay. Right, so, he wants me to apologise. I got your apology. So you got the actual I will give an apology, and the other 3 options are just like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Okay, so sure, let's go with the slightly hostile approach. Why not? What's the worst that could possibly happen?
Good to see ya.
Right. So, here's bad news. He chased a guy from New York just to get some cash. It's fine. It's a starting mission NPC. I don't think we'll have too much difficulty. You better just meet me at available racket building. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, yeah. That's slightly glitchy.
Sure thing. On my way.
You can, as you go on, set up safe houses in other neighbourhoods and assign people to them that give you bonuses for those neighbourhoods. So that doesn't seem to apply to your starting neighbourhood at all. Right, that's still
Well, all right.
marked. We're being invited to go to war by another faction, but I don't really want to do that right now.
I'm on it.
Let's go over here. Also, apparently we haven't met whoever this faction is yet. I think this might be a minor faction. Should fire any moment now.
I'm warning
Oh
you.
no, they are a major faction, the Saltis Gang.
I'm on it.
Let's see what this belongs to. That's
Stop it.
Hip Sing Dong.
You got it.
the different building sizes do have an effect on
Well,
what's in
okay.
them. And bigger building sizes are kind of more expensive to upgrade, maintain, but they also come with more security guards and they can generate bigger profits.
Sure thing.
Especially if you get a bigger, a large size building, have it to be a brewery. It can be quite productive. Right, this is literally called available racket building. I think the naming list bugged out.
Well, okay.
Right, we'll save before we go in because I've had it just bug out on me too many times. There was one particularly fun bug. There's a set of missions to do with the Canadian Maple Association or something like that, or basically they're smuggling whiskey across the border. You can make contact with them, and there's two kind of big forks of that mission. But so far,
It's a beautiful
in the two
day
things
to do
I've
some
played them,
crime.
they've both majorly bugged out. So one, I had a character that I was supposed to speak to just straight up disappeared from the map, so therefore I couldn't progress the mission. Like, the character just vanished, they were gone. So that mission is now forever stalled in that save. And then with another character, I played it with another way, and this time sided with the CMA instead of against them, and got tagged with permanent kind of negative alcohol production as a result of one particular mission. It was supposed to be a temporary debuff that would go away after a certain amount of time, but it never did. So I basically am stuck, unable to, like, I had to revert to a previous save, and I can't go further with that set of missions either. So yeah, sometimes the missions are just impossible to complete, and I'm really hoping that that gets fixed, because that's substantial parts of the game content that you can't actually play through. Right, so we're going in here to, I don't know, do some business, I guess.
I'm on it.
Hey, Ghost Reader. So, presumably we're going to go and talk to somebody.
2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
We're supposed to find somebody, talk to somebody. In particular, a bunch of NPCs, workers, bartender.
You got it.
It's not, like, sometimes I've had other missions where I'm not sure if I'm just missing what I'm supposed to do,
I'm on it.
or if there is some condition that's just not firing. I'm not sure if that's what's happening here.
Moving in.
Right, got another NPC attack. I think with rifles you can move and then fire, so I'll get him into cover.
Assholes. Got him.
I think as you upgrade the security rating, the guards not only get more numerous, but they get better armed. They end up getting more hit points as well. Right. Point blank range, pretty much, but I think they're technically in half cover from each other. Still, two hits is not bad considering the probability.
Assholes.
Hey, Griffma. I always say Griffema there. Yeah, it's very much hit point bars. Like, there's no. It's straight up XCOM. You know, it's do damage to people's hit point bars. People can take, especially a boss character, just ridiculous amounts of damage and keep going, and magically self-heal themselves and all kinds of nonsense. And there are also abilities, like if you level up the melee ability enough, getting melee kills actually gives you hit points back when you make a melee kill. Right, that's actually, I was wondering if I could move her, but I don't think there's any better position she can be in terms of being in cover. Neither can he. Nah, never mind. Right, he's probably going to die. Yep, there we go. Oh, no, he's lived. Okay. Let's have a look-see. Oh, he actually used to reload, which takes 1 action point. And even if I don't... Like, even if I lose both these guards and they both go on to attack the inside guards, it's actually not that big a deal because I've sufficiently damaged them. So unless I get incredibly unlucky with RNG, I should be able to defend. But often there's enough of a gap that you can get one of your gangsters or your boss just because you can instantly teleport them from anywhere on the map. You can sometimes get them there in time that they can take part in the fight as well.
Got him.
Right, we actually might once again... Yeah, we've defended with just the outside guards. Right, what am I supposed to be doing here? Where did what's-his-face run off to?
Yeah, great.
He wants a non-aggression pact? Sure, let's do that. I'm thinking...
Well, okay.
This might have...
Got it.
Oh, well, it seems like cater to all types in this brothel.
Fucking aces.
Sure, non-aggression pact, that's fine. Right, I don't quite get what I'm supposed to be doing here. Just says go in the building, which I have done. Nothing's happening. Can I talk to the bartender? Will that trigger something, maybe? Perhaps? Hey there! Never mind. Nope.
All right.
And the Celtic gangs just randomly declared war. I don't know why.
Well, okay.
I don't know what calculations the AI makes, but yeah, anyway, let's just go back to the save. This is why you save often. If you're playing this at the moment, you just save and save and save again. Meet George, talk to George, know the owner of this place, follow me. Figure out what you're looking for pretty quick, just keep your eyes peeled while you're looking in there.
Alright.
Is it just...
Well, alright.
Oh right, Father Higgins. Right, he's actually got a mark on him and then he's vanished. Okay. So Father Higgins is in the Den of Iniquity. We saw him and then he vanished. Was I supposed to talk to him? And this time they've randomly declared war on me instead of offering me a non-aggression treaty. I don't get it. I think given that he had a marker on him, I'm supposed to talk to him, but he literally vanished into thin air. Yeah, I just try loading it again. See if that works. This is why I started off this stream saying you probably shouldn't buy this right now. You should probably wait until it's had some bug fixes. Stuff like this.
It's a beautiful day to do
Yeah, I know. You can like if there's talking going on, like actual voice to talking, you can speed through it with the space bar, but you can't do that with animations or anything. Right, can I talk? Can I get to him in time before he just vanishes into thin air? Yes, there we go. Before he just teleports out of existence. How could you? I can explain. I was sent here to save these poor lost souls. Please show mercy. Okay. Right. That sound in the background, by the way, I think that is just... I don't know if that's playing when rackets change hands, or if it's bugged and it just randomly plays sometimes. Honestly, don't know.
How's it going?
Well, this is all very Catholic. Anyway. Right, and... who the hell are you? Oh, this is Franklin Yale. You've got your buddy George. He literally just walked off in that direction. Right, we can try an intimidation speech check, which actually worked. Want him back? You got to talk to Frankie. Where's Frankie? Call him and ask yourself. Okay. So you do have the chance to fight them, and this fight again. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it can get a bit frustrating having to do the same things over and over.
Got him.
If you're rerunning the, going to reload saves and redo fights. If I played Wasteland 3, I've got Wasteland 2 on, I think it's a GOG or... God, I can't remember.
Got him.
I've never actually played it though, but I do want to at some point. It was the one I got as a freebie, so I've never... I can't even remember at what point it was being given away, but yeah. So it wasn't one I bought and then just have never bothered playing. It was one I got as a freebie and thought, I'll probably play this someday, and I just never have yet. I think when you get guards, it randomises what weapons they have at the start of combat. So this time, instead of a rifle, we've got a guy with a double-barreled shotgun, which is terrible. You can be standing in front of somebody's face and you only get 2 shots. And it's just, you know, misses. And it doesn't even do that much damage, but it does have a knockback effect. I wonder if we'll get a kill this time. Both my guys are very low health. Yeah, rifles are nasty. So that time we actually failed the combat, but it doesn't really matter. So a lot of missions just will give you a little bit of notoriety. Right, it should fire up to the next one right away. Oh, I've got this fight to deal with first.
Assholes.
We've got 3 inside guards, and their guards are all pretty injured, so we should win this. Unless, you know, you get that kind of RNG, which especially seems to happen with shotguns. Yeah, rifles do by far, and especially sniper rifles, by far the best per shot damage. I think shotguns, you have to be in their face and have a good marksmanship skill, which generally your NPC goons don't. But because I did damage with the outside guards, we should easily win this fight. I've yet to actually... I've played with characters enough that I've gotten the machine guns, the SMGs, the sniper rifles, and pistols and melee skills all maxed out. But it's just so hard to be consistent with shotguns that I've actually not yet even managed, I think, to get the the very first level where you get 25%. So, not 25%, 25 kills. So I think it takes a lot of patience, and I don't know if it's worth it to get somebody's rifle skill leveled up. Not rifle skill, their shotgun skill leveled up. But obviously none of this applies to these basic NPCs. Yeah, rifles do have bad accuracy at close range, but you know, you don't need to then get close to use them. Hey, Ginge! Right, we're being gangsters, but although having said that, the game is actually a bit disappointing right now, but
Great.
sure, after you've failed to take my building, you want a non-aggression pact, whatever.
Yeah, great.
Right, so we're basically waiting for the next mission to fire. Maybe go and see if we can find some more. That's a building apparently we can fast travel to.
Well, okay.
See if we can find some more loot crates, perhaps. Yeah, there we go. There's one
What?
with slightly better RNG than Wargaming's loot crates. So let's try him with shotguns. Like, nobody's in cover. We're basically really close, and
Move it.
I think the thing with shotguns as well is that they're one of those weapons where you can move and then fire, but they seem so inaccurate that it just doesn't seem worth using them a lot of the time. There is a lot of bugs at the moment, Ginge. I think it's worth waiting until they get some patches done before you actually consider purchasing this. I'm sad to say. It's come out a bit underbaked. Much like Brexit. But anyway,
Assholes.
probably shouldn't mention that too much or I'll just make myself mad. Right, he doesn't seem to have a self-heal ability. Some of them do. Some of them just have natural healing in between the rounds of combat. Others have an actual triggerable heal ability, but a lot seem to just have to rely on using first aid kits. Right, there we go. He's down. This is what I mean about it would be really lovely if you could speed the movement up. Because if you get a couple of random other faction NPCs, and these guys are not hostile to me but they're fighting each other, I have to wait for their turn. And if you get a bunch of those, it gets increasingly tedious. So there really needs to be an option to speed up the NPCs. Or the non-faction NPCs. When they're moving and attacking each other. Oh, that's a point. What skill? Did we even... Oh, I can't actually see that right now. I don't think we've got that... Well, let's just swap weapon and finish this guy with a pistol. If we can. There we go. Well, it's pure XCOM combat, Ginge, so... It's all in the RNG. And now, and this is another annoyance... Now we have to wait for these two to stop fighting. I have to wait for one of them to kill the other before that battle actually finishes. Right, that's the point. What character skill are we currently... I don't think I even selected one. Okay, we started off with that one as the default. But I needed to select another one. The game didn't actually remind me to do that. That's not the first time I've forgotten. And that's just time wasted as well, because this is just passive in the background. Right, regardless of the amount of damage you take, you bleed out rather than die when your health reaches 0. No longer trigger enemy Overwatch shots while moving. Any character within 4 meters of you will bleed out instead of dying. So you can either make yourself more survivable, you can make your companions more survivable, or you can never trigger Overwatch shots, which actually is kind of useful. Yeah, as I explained earlier, but I guess if you weren't here, Ed Beaver, just because they aren't hostile to you doesn't mean they aren't hostile to each other. And just because they aren't hostile to you doesn't necessarily mean they're friendly towards you and that they'll help you. they might just ignore you and run away. So, yeah. It took me a little while to understand that.
I'm on it.
The game doesn't really explain it, you just have to observe it happening and figure it out for yourself. So have we gotten... There's another little group of thugs there. We need cash, basically. How's their health doing? I can't remember if it instantly replenishes back at the safe house or not. I can try it.
Sure thing.
You can... I mean, cash isn't that hard to come by. You can just basically knock over... Well, there we go. It does instantly replenish. That's useful. Okay. You can raid the thug-occupied buildings. The big ones will actually sometimes yield a couple of thousands, which is quite nice. Rob a bank. You can't do that. There's no bank robbing. It's kind of limited in that regard, I'm afraid. Right, let's try... I mean, we don't have any... can we hire anybody? I think we can actually hire...
What are you up to?
She's a doctor. Can we hire her? Do we have enough
Sorry,
cash?
dear.
No, we need 300. You can find people dotted around the world, but you can also just hire them from this screen here. These are all the possible kind of companions that you can have, and you can actually see if they've been hired by other people as well. And there's a kind of a system going on where people like each other and dislike other people. So we could try and hire her, but we don't have enough cash. So maybe if I go and attack a small building.
On my way.
That might do the
That's a
trick.
great one. That's class.
It won't be a lot of cash, but it might... Oh, in fact, there we go. That's just pushed me over the amount I have. No, I don't want to go to a war, thank you.
Sure thing.
So let's hire her. I don't think her combat skill will be super amazing. There is a lot of... these numbers represent how much notoriety you need, so... You start off with people that require no notoriety whatsoever to hire, but they're also not very good. And then you get people who are requiring lots of notoriety to hire, and also will generally require a lot of cash, like 73 grand. It's a fair bit. And each of them, like, you don't pay them a salary, you pay them a percentage of your profits. So every time you hire somebody, they take a chunk out of your profits as well. So you can't just hire people willy-nilly. So let's hire her. She's a doctor. She'll have a healing ability.
Of course.
And this time it's actually prompting me to select a character skill. So we'll go with the heal self or ally.
Oh, that's so good.
And we'll actually give her like a rifle, I guess. She can have sniper rifles as well, but rifles you can move and fire. Sniper rifles and machine guns take both action points to fire. And I don't have anything else. I can give her that, and I can give him actually a grenade. That'll do. So you can have up to, I think it's either 5 or 6 as a group in any one go.
Okay.
The boss characters are generally quite powerful. Some of the companion characters can be quite powerful as well, but others are quite squashy. She's actually got a decent amount of health. Some of the others have like 60 health. And you consider a single rifle crit shot can do like 50. They can actually go down very easily. So let's switch to the shotgun. I can't use our explosive ability here because it would hit my companion. She's way too close for a rifle shot, so let's move her over and have her attack one of the others. There we go, 82% chance. And a crit. That's nice. You do actually get special ammunition types that can increase the amount of crits you get, and some abilities have effect on your crits as well. Yeah, there's a disappointing, like, it's definitely limited right now. There's a disappointing amount of gangstery activities. You can't set up protection rackets, for example. You can get protection money from other gangs, and they can request protection from you. So you can get a stream of income that way. But if somebody attacks them, it's like a defensive alliance, basically. They're paying you a certain amount of money, and if somebody attacks them, you promise to go to war. But you can't, like, go down to the neighbourhood sweet shop and any other businesses in the neighbourhood and say, pay me money or we'll, you know, knock over things or whatever. Like, there's a lot that it feels like could be in this game that just isn't. Oh, nice, right, criticals. That was an outright kill. There we go. Down to just one. Yeah, there might well be some DLC stuff, but I think there's a lot of stuff that should just be in the base game. There's a lot to fix in this at the moment. There is a lot to make better. Right, she might get the finishing blow.
They got me.
And we'll get a bit of loot. 868 is not bad, and then we can get a little bit more if we ransack as well. Oh, only a little bit more. But a pistol as well. Better pistol. Well, better than the 38 she's using. He's got a very good 38, but she's just got a... not even a 38, she's got the basic revolver. So that's 13 to 16, 15 to 23, so yeah, give her the better pistol. So with the big buildings you can get up to like 3,000 plus bucks. So that is a way of getting cash early on, as you just attack the thug buildings and ransack them, and you can actually build up a decent nest egg. But there's also one very exploity thing that you can do, and we'll see if we can do it here. Basically, as long as a faction doesn't hate you, you can trade with them. But if they hate you, then it might cost more. So there is one mechanic that is particularly abusable. So let's buy swill, the most basic alcohol. Well, we want to buy it rather than... yeah, we have to click on that. There we go. He's got 163. So we'll offer them cash. And again, this interface is a bit clunky. It's not immediately clear. Apart from that, you know, there should be a clearer visual indication that you've switched inventory. This is one of those things where the UI just... I won't say it fails a sanity check or anything like that, but it could definitely use some improvement. So, and the fact that you have to do a pop-up, that it's not just some slider. You have to keep continuously doing that. So we spent 363 cash buying 163 swill. Confirm trade. And then you go to one of the minor factions. Have we actually met any minor factions yet? No, we need to meet a minor faction. Hang on. Let's fast travel over there. The minor factions have basically got infinite cash. The major factions have a limited cash pile, but the minor factions never run out. So there's a particular trick you can do, either by producing lots of swill or just trading with other factions for the swill they've produced. But we need to find a minor faction for this to actually work. I wonder if I've actually kind of limited the number of minor factions by only having 3 neighborhoods.
Sure thing.
That's a potentially hireable NPC, but it's a lot easier to get them from the NPC screen. Also, let's just bag this crate while we're here. Shotgun to the face.
Understood.
And then there we go, another hit. And the crit and the non-crit did exactly the same damage because RNG.
Sure thing.
Okay, that is 38. That's fine. Shotgun's not super powerful or anything.
On my way.
Looks like there's another group of thugs there. I should have encountered one minor faction by now. Surely. It might just be because I've only taken the 3 neighborhoods. Right, this is a... they want a weekly order of 9 barrels of swill. They'll pay $18 a week, sure, that's fine. Oh, and they've just been eliminated by somebody else, so never mind. That was a very short-lived deal. Oh, that one's a purple crate, that would be good. Right, we can fire an explosive shot here. Very nice. So he should get... There we go. Good hit in there. Haha! That's quite the... That's quite the family tale there, Philo Farnsworth. Yeah, I feel like there could just be a lot more going on in this game. I suspect there will be... there will definitely be DLC.
I'm on it.
And I have had fun with it, despite all of its shortcomings. I have actually been having some fun. But that's tempered by the frustration of those shortcomings. Right, so that's 10 kills with a shotgun, so soft-boiled is probably just bonus marksmanship with a shotgun. Yeah, 10%. Oh, 10% damage when dealing... when using shotguns against targets without armor. Okay, so it's not actually bonus marksmanship, it's bonus damage to unarmored targets. Okay. Ooh, a very high quality machine gun. Yeah, it's so worth just going around picking up all the stashes at the start, because you can get some really nice weapons out of it.
Sure thing.
How is there not a single minor NPC faction in this entire neighborhood?
You got it.
That is confusing.
Sure thing.
There were faction buildings. Let's try traveling to a different neighborhood then. Oh, that's one we can't travel to. West Loop Gate, East Pilsen. Oh, East Pilsen's a kind of a small one as well. Business arrangements. This is the thing where you basically share each other's bonuses.
Got it.
There's got to be some minor factions around here. There must be. Under attack by thugs. Oh, we just happened to pass a... Okay, and there's a cop patrol. Well, that's bad luck. Just happened to be a police patrol going past at the same time. I'll take some of my own health off. No. Okay, we'll save that. Hope for a better group here.
Got him.
Oh, and there's some random Saltist gang guys there as well, who are hostile to me because, of course.
Suspect is resisting arrest! Hit the ground, now!
They can actually, like, arrest people. The police have a special move. If there's a low health character, they can use subdue on them, which basically handcuffs them. At which point they get carted away. So I suspect that's how one of your own gangsters would get needing bailed out of jail, potentially.
Hands in the air!
Comply, citizen!
So I don't know why they're attacking this guy over here, unless they've got the best odds of hitting him, but my guys are so much closer, so I don't quite get that.
You got it.
Let's move him. And maybe make use of the cover in the alley in a turn or two.
Moving in.
He might just be going for the exit. No, he's actually firing. Okay. I think it's basically impossible to kill civilians in this game. There's no way to target them. Right, let's move her there. And have finish off that cop. The police are really not going to like me after this incident. The thing is that you can... I could try and get my characters to run away, or else just hang around and let the other
We're sitting ducks out here.
factions try and kill these police officers. But if you do run away yourself, then you don't get any loot out of a fight, essentially. So,
Sure thing.
is it worth now doing the not enough AP? So let's actually reload.
Moving.
Now he's in cover. Oh, dynamite stick. I'm glad I got my characters out of the way. Yeah, grenades, dynamite and all that are all definitely a thing. Let's go for an Overwatch shot.
Get behind something now!
Oh, they're overwatching as well. But that doesn't trigger my Overwatch apparently if somebody else goes
Sitting
into
ducks
Overwatch.
out here!
Weird. Okay, I've not actually had that situation before. Overwatch apparently doesn't trigger somebody else's Overwatch. If he runs in, however, there we go. He took a hit, a very low damage hit, all things considered. Also, throwables can be thrown a ridiculously long way, it seems like. Right, that's one less, you know, that's one cop I don't have to kill. If you actually have a high enough rating with the police, they will be on your side, or they won't be hostile to you, rather. So they'll be green rather than red. It is possible. Okay, she's going to have to reload next turn. He's got kind of low health. We might get him chucking a grenade of his own. That would be a kill. That would not be a kill. Let's, oh, I can't actually. The building's in the way. Let's throw there. Yeah, not great damage, but hopefully it'll set them up for a bit. Oh, he's very low health. Those all hit. Time bomb? Who are you chucking a time bomb at? Right, time bombs at least give you a moment to get out of the way. Right, she needs to move. And she doesn't have a heal ability yet, but she can use
Right away.
a first aid kit on him. You can't tell who's got throwables or who doesn't have throwables until they use them. So you don't know whether it's necessarily safe to group up or not. He's going to have to use his own first aid kit on himself. And then... really... oh, just one hit point. We really used to have killed him, but never mind. Stop shooting him! Uh-oh. And she took the hit, and she's bleeding, which means she's going to slowly lose health. Bleeding is kind of nasty.
Let's do this.
Right, we were just walking
Let's
past,
do
minding
this.
our own business, and then just because those thugs attacked us has started this fight that we just did not want. Yeah, it's annoying. When you like, sometimes they'll move into places you don't want them to move to necessarily. It can be actually kind of annoying, like they'll move in and trigger an Overwatch that you didn't want them to. Oh, he's bleeding out. Do I have any health items left at this point? I don't think I do. I don't know what happens if he dies. Do I just lose the game? Maybe. Just from this random fight I got pulled into. You get a couple of rounds of bleed out. I'm hoping if I end the fight he'll be okay, but I don't know.
Assholes.
Here we go.
A crit into a kill would have been very useful there. But never mind.
Moving.
Now, why did he run past instead of attacking? You would think he would have attacked. Right, 78% chance. Or 70. I'll just leave that one guy.
Assholes.
Attack! But it's mostly missed, thankfully. And.
God.
Right, he does actually kind of get auto-healed. That's not actually happened to me before, so I wasn't sure what would happen. But because she's a doctor, he gets bonus passive heal. Ooh, and nice, we found police issue body armor, which is actually really useful. But as I was saying at the start, body armor degrades as it takes hits. Anyway, we were trying to find a minor faction, and then I think I'm going to wrap up the stream after that, because I think I'm actually about due to start playing with somebody. In fact, I think I probably passed the time when I was supposed to be start playing with somebody. Forgotten what time it was.
Well, okay.
Right, so auto save. Ah, there we go. So she's now got her heal ability. All attacks gain 10% critical chance, 55% chance of attacks. We'll actually go with her just being the doctor, so bleed out instead of dying. We'll take that.
Oh, good.
So anytime she's close enough to people. Having a doctor travel around with your boss character, if they don't have some kind of heal themselves, is really very useful. Have we got literally no minor factions? This is so weird.
Enough.
No, there we go. Right, finally. So, this is the exploit. In fact, we can probably buy some more rack from somebody at this point. Or more swill, rather. So I go, I'm going to give you however much. A little bit less. Hello, clunky UI. Let's do that. That's fine. Slightly more than is needed. And then we'll go to the go. Now, like I said, they have infinite cash. And that is massively exploitable because there's this mechanic here where you can disguise alcohol as a more valuable type of alcohol. We can, with absolutely no penalties whatsoever, go, yeah, sure, this is whiskey. Wink. And there's no percentage dice roll to see if you get away with it. There's no anything that affects relations with the minor faction. They're never going to run out of cash. So what would have been worth, I'll actually just put it back down so you see. What should be worth let's just wait, hang on, that's not doing the thing I want it to do. So don't disguise. Just under $1,000 for almost 500 barrels, and then you say, oh, it's whiskey, $23,000. It's totally whiskey, wink. So yeah, that is so massively exploitable. So even with all the other things you can do to earn money, at the moment you might as well just do that. It's a little bit silly. So yeah, I'm sure that's the thing they will patch fairly soon. They'll have to change the minor factions somehow so that either there is a chance of them discovering you've sold them a false bill of goods, quite literally, or that they have limited amount of cash or something. Because yeah, if they leave that alone, it's basically an infinite money generator. So I think I'm gonna save it, pause it there, and this hasn't been too bad in terms of bugs, but yeah, there's been a few. There's definitely been a few. So just to reiterate what I said at the start, don't buy this at the moment. Wait for it to get patched a bit. At that point, I think it's worth a look. But don't expect anything too big or deep or expansive out of this game. It's a relatively fun little game. It's not particularly challenging. It's got some nice flavour to it, but I've seen it described in a lot of places as being a little bit on the shallow side, and I think that's a fair assessment. So I'm going to wrap things up and go and play with the patron now, who's probably been waiting patiently because I really hadn't realised what time it is because I'm such a professional. So hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. If you missed any of it and want to catch the start of it, you can watch it on YouTube in a day or two. And otherwise, I hope you've had a good evening or whatever, and I'll catch you next time.